Hey Crossroads, I want to tell you a quick story about something that happened to me about 15 years ago. Before I entered into ministry, when I was first married, I took a job at a PVC pipe factory as a temporary worker. I needed a job, didn't know what I wanted to do with my life at that point, and so that's where they sent me. They sent me to a PVC pipe factory. I was in a two-person department called a grinding process. And so basically our job was to take any of the pipes that had imperfections and regrind them so that they could extrude them into a pipe that was void of any issue. So that's what we did. I spent a year with a guy named Domingo Lopez, just regrinding pipe. And obviously with two people in the department working 8-10 hour days, 5 days a week, got to know each other pretty well through that. Now, Domingo was a little older than I was, probably by about 10 years, and he spoke broken English. He spoke well enough that we could communicate fine with no issue, but there was a little bit of a barrier there from time to time. But we had a lot of good conversations nonetheless. One day I came into work, and Domingo wasn't there. Now, Domingo was one of the hardest working individuals I've ever come across in my entire life. He worked circles around me, even though he was only 4'11". He was just an incredibly hard, strong worker, and he never missed work. So I knew something was up, and so I asked the shift manager, "Hey, where's Domingo?" And he kind of just gave me a blank look, and he says, "You really need to probably go talk to the operations manager." So that's what I did. I went and talked to the operations manager, and he informed me that Domingo over the weekend had drowned. Now, Domingo couldn't swim, and neither could his family, but they were out in a lake on a beach, just hanging out in the shallows. However, his 10-year-old daughter had gotten in a little over her head, and so Domingo went in after her. Now, amazingly, somehow he was able to save his daughter's life, but in the process, he lost his own. It was one of the hardest things I've ever encountered, because that whole year I had never once had a conversation with him about Christ. I still to this day don't know where he stood on that issue, other than I know he was Catholic because that's where the funeral was at. But I blew it. I blew it big time. Spending several hours a day with a guy, and he never knew where I stood or how I felt about Jesus, nor did I take the time to tell him that he needed to have Christ in his own life. And, I resolved right then and there that, Lord, if I ever have an opportunity like that again, I promise you I will not blow it. So in a small way, this video is just a continuation of that promise I made to the Lord years and years ago, that anybody I come in contact to, I will tell about Christ. And guys, I hope that if you're seeing this video, that maybe somebody came to your mind that you work with or have a close relationship with that you've never had that conversation with. I can tell you firsthand, you're not guaranteed tomorrow with that individual. And the regret and the guilt that you feel over not telling them the things that you know you need to tell them, it's not worth it. Now, I believe there's forgiveness for myself in that instance, but still there isn't a day that doesn't go by when I think back on Domingo that I wished that I had handled that a whole lot better and said something about it. It really could have changed an eternity. So guys, I know this is kind of a heavy topic, but I really hope that there's somebody in your mind right now that you're going to go tell about Christ, because you know that tomorrow is not guaranteed. And don't do it out of a burden. Do it because you love the Lord your God and everything that He's done for you. Do it because you know that an eternity with Him, including from this moment forward, is better than without. Guys, we love you, and until the next video, we'll see you then.